Welcome back to Football Forecast. It's Nubaid here, not Hugh, and I'm of course joined by the regular face, James Allcott. And this one's going to be tasty. Liverpool and Chelsea are hunting down Manchester City, but the reality is whoever loses in this game is probably out of the title race. So it's one of those games where losing is no longer an option. Liverpool off the back of what you'd say is a terrible defeat to a depleted Leicester. And Chelsea, once again, dropping points, once again, have a ton of injuries. And both these managers do love a moan. Tuchel talking about injuries, Klopp talking about fixture pile up. And then when it's not piled up, it's no longer piled up against Liverpool. This one will be interesting. James, who's coming into this one in a worse mood, having dropped points?
Well, I think, worse mood in terms of it wanting the output of winning games. I would say Chelsea. I think Chelsea haven't been at it for quite a while now. You know, Romelu Lukaku came in, scored his goal, looked good in that sense, and was a real option for Chelsea. But overall, it's been quite glaring how far they've kind of fallen off. Like, honestly, it was literally about 3 weeks ago. I swear we were talking about just how good they were and the depth that they had. But I think what always reveals itself around this period of the season is the mix between, okay, you might have the numbers, but do you have the chemistry in that team? And I think at this moment in time with Chelsea, I don't think they have all of the components that I thought they did have. I expected more from Pulisic. I expect more from Ziyech. I expect maybe less, not more from someone like Mason Mount, but there's those attacking players in terms of the quality that's there. Timo Werner, I think it's a completely fair one to say that we should be seeing more from those kind of players with the amount of money that's been brought in for them. It's been poor. It's been poor. The strongest score those goals, it was those wing backs that offered so much. Chilwell, of course, as well. Looks like he's going to be out for the season. So I think if you're a Chelsea fan, I think you're in a much worse mood. And with Liverpool, let me throw it back to you as the Liverpool fan. I look at that defeat, and I think there was a lot of, there was some glaring chances for Sadio Mane, for example, Salah with a penalty. I actually think that, strangely, the mood amongst this Liverpool team will be incredibly tenacious and almost angry in a good way after losing a game like that. How do you feel about it going into this one?
I think that game, the Liverpool-Leicester game, was one of those, if Salah scores the penalty, Liverpool probably go on to win that game 2 or 3-0. And there's a lot of half moments where you went, oh man, that normally goes in. Kasper Schmeichel made an incredible save from Salah, which was going in the top corner. And it was just one of those games where you felt at some point, Leicester were going to get a moment. And it's so strange when you think about it. You have Mane, Jota, Salah, 3 really informed players. Obviously, Mane not to the heights we've seen him before, but he's still more informed than Lookman. And you're thinking, quality for quality, if these 3 guys get 1 chance each, Liverpool will score at least 1. If Lookman gets 3 chances, he might just score 1, but on a lucky day. He gets 1 chance in the game and happens to score. I think that happens. I think Liverpool come into this exactly like you said, going, we can't believe we lost that game. And if City beat Arsenal, then we have to beat Chelsea to go on challenge for this title. Otherwise, Liverpool will feel as though the title is done. And I think one of the telling factors for me is Thiago and Fabinho. I think the difference between these two sides, between City and Liverpool, is that City control games, they grip games. And Liverpool do give a chance away, but it's becoming a bit more frequent. The chance is like now more of they're actually in on goal a few times in a game. And I think Fabinho and Thiago, the stat that I've got here is incredible. I didn't know this until this morning. Liverpool played 16 with them two, 15 wins, 1 loss, 6 goals conceded. That control that Thiago and Fabinho give Liverpool is crucial. And I think against Chelsea, they'll need that because it'll be interesting. I don't know who will keep more of the ball. Previously, we've seen Tuchel do it, but I think Klopp and Liverpool have become a little bit more obsessive about keeping possession and maybe trying to re-engineer themselves a little bit. I just wonder, looking at this game, Chelsea without James now, Chelsea without Chilwell. If you're Klopp and Liverpool, you're thinking, we got to kill them today. Like, if we put them to bed, it's just us and City all the way. And we've seen that happen time and time again.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's a horrible game for both of them at a horrible time, really, for both of them, where they both feel tired, a little bit depleted, and also they both need to win it. A draw is completely useless for both of them, and that's probably what's going to, at the end of it, I expect Liverpool to get 80 plus points at least, but you need 90 these days, and it's the draws that's going to really, really hurt them. Of course, these two teams drew earlier on in the season. This is what's amazing about this game as well for me, is that I don't think we learned that much from that first game. Of course, there was a sending off. So I think this will be such a great battle between two teams that are are very similar. You know, you're talking about that possession in terms of sort of sequence time, in terms of when they've got the ball, Liverpool and Chelsea, really, really similar in terms of the numbers there. 11.43 seconds every time Chelsea get the ball, 10.69 for Liverpool. So Liverpool, of course, do play with a bit more counter-attacking flair. Again, comes down to that chemistry maybe that they have over Chelsea. But I guess the big thing here is it being at Stamford Bridge. I wonder if that will play a part in this, or if it will be something that you think that will suit Liverpool. In terms of the personnel here, is there any way that someone like Firmino comes in here, or has Jota's just become so important to Liverpool now? He has to start. It has to be that 3. Do you see any little tactical tweaks or personnel tweaks when it comes to Liverpool or Chelsea?
I can't lie. I've been generally a little bit disappointed with Klopp. Tactically, I think tactically against Leicester, he started Ox, and I would have started Keita personally. And then in this game, I think Chelsea will dominate midfield, but you have to press Jorginho. And I don't think there's many better players in the Premier League than Firmino, who plays that sort of false nine, and he sits in that area where Jorginho wants the ball. And if you're Jorginho, you're always thinking he's around. And Jota's a brilliant finisher. He's brilliant in front of goal. But I actually think he's a much better trump card than Firmino. If Chelsea take the lead here and it gets to 1-1 and Liverpool want to chase this game, throwing on Firmino is not going to win you the game. Jota probably could. I think that probably would be my tactical change. I would obviously take Ox out for Keita for this one. If Thiago's fit, I don't know what the situation is there. He had COVID for a little bit, and then I think he's injured now. As for Chelsea, they're in bother because there's no Reece James, no Chilwell. So it'll be Alonso, probably Callum Hudson-Odoi, who I think is very susceptible defensively. Christensen's apparently got a problem as well. So, and Werner's not available. This game for me is perfect for Werner. Chelsea need to hit that ball early. I think Lukaku's so not suited to this Liverpool game because he wants to go man for man against Matip and Van Dijk. I don't think they mind that too much. Like, if you're Matip and Van Dijk, you're probably going, hit his feet. Like, what's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? One interesting area for me is Alonso versus Trent. Like, do you think, in my opinion, I think that's where the battle will be won, because most of the time that is for Liverpool, the case for Liverpool.
Well, I think this is the awkward thing for Chelsea, is the fact that if you are playing Hudson-Odoi on that right-hand side, and you never know, maybe you mix up the centre-backs and play Azpilicueta out there, and then you allow Alonso to really cheat, that could be the other route with this one. Because I think that left-hand side, if you do play Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mane and Robertson against those two, I think that makes it very, very difficult for them. So it'd be interesting to see. It's almost like one side will affect what Alonso can do. I know he'll always want to be attacking, but if he can just completely cheat on that left-hand side, that could be interesting. And also when you talk about Lukaku and Werner, that left channel is one that could be utilised. But also what Lukaku could do, and I get what you're saying, but he sucks in centre-backs. And that's what Chelsea haven't been able to do recently, because centre-backs have been going, yeah, it's fine, you stay in front of us, we're safe here. As long as the ball's in front of us, we haven't conceded a goal. When Lukaku's in there, he just sort of drags people about and sucks players in, and that creates space for the likes of someone like Mason Mount, who's having the season of his career so far in terms of his goal involvements, 12 so far this season, which is the most he's ever got. Last season, he got 12 throughout the season. So for me, it feels precarious for Chelsea here, although they are at home. I'm going to go for a Liverpool victory here. I think Salah will step up for Liverpool, but I'm very, very close to saying it's going to be a draw. But I think Liverpool might just sneak it. How do you feel?
I'm very confident this was going to end in a draw. I think Liverpool will chase it, but Chelsea have a bit of that quality. I feel a 1-1, and I can just picture Pep with a cigar in his mouth, getting ready to write his name on the next trophy. It's going to be a tight one. You guys in the comments, let us know where this game gets decided, because it will be a tactical battle.
Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.